Hey guys! I look like a mom. Look at this fabric. So today we're going to be using polyester fabric that I actually found at Joann's in like the like remnant section. I think it's like 50% off remnant. It's actually kind of not that bad of like a size, and so it was like half of that or something. Yeah, so I found this like really nice fabric, and I found like this other like light blue fabric, and so I was just like, I need to get them because at some point I need to make something, right? But yeah, so I was thinking about making a bias skirt because I've really been wanting one of those. I just haven't had the heart to buy one yet. So I was thinking like maybe I could try to make one by myself. I only really watched a video by Jenna Phipps. So yeah, I was just gonna like use her idea and just like take a skirt that I already have and then like kind of base it off of this. I like also bought an invisible zipper for something else. I don't know how to install a zipper, especially not like an invisible zipper. And this is technically not the same color, but I think I might just try it out just to use what I have. Maybe with the remnant fabric of this, I can like do something else, like try to make like a top or something for my sister. On skirts like this, like a bias skirt, you actually want to cut them so that it's like 45 degrees. So instead of cutting it like straight like this, you would cut at a 45-degree angle, so kind of like that, and then cut downwards like that as a panel so that it gives this really nice like draping. And I had no idea about any of this, and so when I learned that, I was like, oh my god, that makes so much sense, because like this looks so different from this, like having it draped down and stuff, and that's what gives it like that drapiness. So it's not like gonna be long enough to do a midi length. It would probably be more like knee length or something. I think it seems simple enough, but I'm gonna try to preserve as much length as possible, so let's get into it. I think I'm just gonna go with what she did. Just need a front panel, right? And then the back piece, you would just split into two, so one side and one side, because you're obviously gonna put in the zipper and all that stuff. So do that and then leave a little bit of seam allowance. I also bought some bias tape for like the waistband part, so we're gonna be trying a lot of new things today. So it's good that I have these like fabric scissors because it's like very straight, so you don't have to really like, you know, you could just cut across pretty easily. Whoops, that's a little bit too much. I think I'm gonna try to just cut out the other piece too. It's definitely really fun just like working with this fabric because it's just so like pretty and shiny. I'll just cut one in half, right? And then we'll sew the sides together. Okay. Boom. So we have two panels and a third front panel. Oh, how does this look? Oh, it's so pretty. Let's start sewing. Okay, switching to this camera just because my other camera needs to charge, but also just have it close and personal. So I switched out my thread. And I don't have any gold thread or anything like that, so I'm just using kind of like a, I don't even know what it's called, like a cream. I have this, and I don't know if you'd call this cream, and then that one's kind of more of like a brown cream. And I was just like, oh, let's just do this one so that it's a little bit like toned down, you know, to make sure I'm using like the right, you know, like the stitch tension. I'm gonna just try 8, because this is like very, you know, very thin and very like stretchy. I don't know. Yeah, that's definitely too tight, right? Let's see. It's like definitely better. I think that might be the one, but let me also try 6 just to make sure. Yeah, so 6 looks like it would be a little bit too loose. Let me just like basically overlock all the ends. I obviously don't have an overlocker or anything like that, but I'm just gonna do a zigzag stitch basically on all of it. Rest on the counter here and like have it all draping here so that it's not like pulling itself like with gravity. So like I pinned where I'm going to, you know, stitch. Probably end up being like this. Yeah, it's already, I mean, it's definitely really pretty, form-fitting, and then like give a little bit of a flare at the bottom. Okay, So, well, I did everything, and I think it's time to just try to do the zipper. I have never done a zipper, period, and I don't have an invisible zipper foot, so. And also, these instructions don't really make sense. Oh, I think I know what it means. It wants you to like completely iron this flat so that it's probably just really easy to get right into there. Basically, I think what it's saying is you're supposed to open the zipper obviously all the way, and then I think we have to start at the top and then go all the way to the bottom. Once we reach this, I'm guessing we do both sides and then we close it and then finish off the end and leave some seam allowance. This is what the regular zipper foot looks like that came with the machine. And so there's two sides, I guess. And like you can put it on, like you can have it be on this side or have it be on this side. And like I'm trying to figure out if I'm doing the right side, I should probably have it on the right side, right? We're just gonna wing it. It's very, like, I'll put it on 3 so that it's very close. I mean, I feel like I don't even need to pin it really, because I just need to line it up in the beginning, because then after that the foot kind of just does the work. Oh, I have to reposition it. Reposition it to the left side. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that thing about how I said I shouldn't pin it, it made me do it on the wrong side. So I have to seam rip all of this. Wait a minute. Oh my god, this is like completely messing with my head. I think I'm accidentally starting to seam rip the one that I already did. I'm supposed to seam rip this one, right? Or did I already do that one wrong too? Okay, I'm really confused now. Okay, this is like very confusing. Like that, right? What did I do before? I don't understand. I don't understand what just happened. I think I might have done that, but then maybe it got, like, I twisted the fabric or something. And just make sure it doesn't twist, I guess? Okay, I'm really confused. Why is this so confusing? I need to pin this down. I did a zipper. It's pretty hidden because the fabric is, like, you know, stretchy. I don't know if the top will be, but this is gonna go down anyway because I need to make the waistband with the bias tape later. Should I try it on now? I mean, I feel like if it doesn't fit, we're kind of past the point of doing anything. Guys, it fits. The back probably looks really bad though. Oh, definitely when you're wearing it, it's more apparent. The length is very different in the back, but also, you see this bump? That's like, this is just silly. This is literally just silly. I'm wondering if I have to like seam rip it again and then try to make it straighter. I have to figure it out because it cannot leave this little tiny like bump. Okay guys, so I think the problem is maybe it's just because the zipper is very long. Like we're working with a really flowy fabric and the zipper is just a zipper that's like pretty straight up and down, right? So I think you can see what I'm doing here. So basically I'm just following the guidelines of what this zipper said when you're wanting to shorten it. This is the highest I can have it so that it still fits me, like trying to put it on without like obviously ripping it or anything like that. So that's the desired length. And then they said like about like an inch under that, stitch right here, just like with the needle and thread, you want to stitch that. So I wanted to wait until watch to see if this works, hopefully. And after this I can't go back, so. Okay, that was actually way easier than I thought it would be. But yeah, so it is very lopsided, and I can't tell if that's because one of these I put, you know, I did a zigzag stitch and the other one I didn't, because I didn't want to lose any, because I thought it was going to be too tight. Like, I thought I was making a mistake by doing that. It's definitely coming together. Obviously, don't worry about the end. Yeah, it definitely, like, fits. Definitely fits everywhere. It just has this weird bump, which I think is because I should probably re-stitch part of it. I actually think I succeeded at making the zipper an invisible zipper. Well, like, I unpicked one side and then re-sewed it. And that still didn't really work, didn't fix the problem. So then I decided to go as close as I could. You're supposed to iron it down so that it's even flatter so you get right up next to the zipper. But I didn't iron it. I decided right now to do it by hand and kind of make sure that it was going in that little divot, I guess, between like right next to the zipper. And so it did make it a invisible zipper. Like, look. You see that? You can't even see that. Exactly. You see that? Yeah, so it's an actual like invisible zipper. The bump did disappear a little. Like that got rid of the problem area. But then now the bump is kind of like moved downwards because since I sewed it before, like obviously this part was hard to sew up anyway, so I feel like I have to redo it. So that's why right now I'm unpicking the bottom again. Definitely looks much better. I love that I actually succeeded with the invisible zipper because now it's completely just like the gold color now. Let's fix this a little bit and I'll be right back. So it is now evening time, but I did get the bias tape so I can finish like the waistband and stuff. The type of fabric and the zipper is like two very different types of things because like the zipper is very rigid, so it kind of has nothing to, it's just bending and warping because it doesn't really know how to lay. Online people say like to try to use interfacing or something. Like I don't know, I've never used interfacing, I don't have any, but another person said that you could potentially just use bias tape on like the seam allowance part that you have. So maybe I should add something to the bottom because it's just gonna be like this weird like slope. Maybe what I could do is add another panel. Since I have this extra fabric that kind of like went along with this line, then it would give a little, it would fill it up in a little bit maybe. Because I've never used bias tape before, but basically it's pretty easy. You just like pin the right side of this to the right side of the skirt, and then you like sew in this. Is this focusing? You sew in the fold of this, and then when you fold it in, then it will have like that nice seam. I feel like the top of this, I guess I didn't really need to do this because I was gonna use bias tape anyway. You know, like it's a little bit higher on this side, so I'm just gonna like even it out a little bit and then I'll start pinning. Right side to right side, and then pin that all and then stitch it in the fold line. Probably should have cut exactly where I wanted it to be, so that I could just like fold the bias tape over and just completely like just sew that down. But instead, because I have to do the zipper, I actually figured out that I could just fold it in like twice, so like fold it and then fold it again to try to get the waistband to be as straight as possible, as like good as possible. I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but then again, this entire project can be described like that. Yeah, so I'm just gonna try doing that and see if it's at least remotely straight so that I can just pretend that it's straight when I'm wearing it. Guys, I'm actually really surprised. This actually really feels nice. Like it feels starting to feel like actual like clothes that you could possibly pass as something that I bought. Wow, bias tape is so cool, even though I technically didn't use it the way it's supposed to be used. Isn't that kind of really nicely finished off? Does that not look somewhat nice to you? Wow, I'm so proud of it. Hopefully it still fits now, because now technically it's probably a little bit tighter up here. Guys, oh my god, I'm so happy. Like literally, look at this. Look at this waistband. Do you see this? Like this, like it looks like I bought this. Like I'm so proud. Like obviously the back still pretty much the same. Like it'll definitely cinch in your waist. And I like having it like sit at my like waist. I have a long torso, so my waistline, like the part where it's the narrowest, is like up here rather than like, you know, right at my belly button. So I actually like having it this high up. The only thing is now to fix the back part, and I'm not sure. I feel like I should add the like a little train. Guys. Okay guys, so I'm back from dinner. So this is very tight now. I actually sewed in the other panel, and are you ready for this? Ta-da! And don't mind that it's all different lengths because we're gonna hem it after this, but I just wanted to show you an update. Ta-da! And so now it's like I intentionally styled it to be like that, you know what I'm saying? And it gives like a little bit more like volume and flow. So yeah, I'm gonna hem it now. You know, trim the end to make it all the same length, and then probably just roll up the hem. I could also just I could probably also use the bias tape if I wanted to. I made something. I made something. I'm really happy. It's 2 days later? Yeah. I finished the skirt. I keep like wanting to go back and forth about how I ended up finishing the bottom, because I just decided, because I was like really tired but I really wanted to finish this, so I just like used the bias tape. So it does give it like, because it's like the bias tape, it gives it some structure at the bottom, so it does flare out a little bit, but I feel like that's also a look. Like, it's definitely more like retro, gives me like retro vibes. And then I was thinking, I'm not sure if this is possible because I don't know if I have enough scrap fabric to do this, but it'd be nice to just like use up the rest of this fabric, maybe make a top if there's enough, like. So for the outfit with the skirt, I decided to wear like a sweater, make it more weather appropriate, and yeah, just like tuck it in. Summer colognes got me falling to my knees. I don't need much, baby. I just need you right here next to me. Yeah. So that's the end of the video, and I finally did it. I'm just really happy with how it turned out. Obviously, my perfectionist mind is like looking at it and being like, oh, well that looks kind of weird, or oh, well blah blah blah. But honestly, it's actually a really good attempt at like doing this, because I've never made something from scratch before. Unless I'm like completely forgetting or something. But yeah, so that's my first attempt, and like I was kind of foreshadowing, or like the little clips here and there, so basically I also made a shirt to go with it, like kind of as a set, but honestly it's more like the shirt I'm giving to my sister because it's more of her style, and then the skirt is more of my style, so I'm keeping it obviously, but I mean we share clothes all the time anyway. But yeah, so make sure that if you like this video, you obviously give it a like, and then also subscribe so that you see that video of the shirt next week. That one is also very tricky and also tests my problem solving skills and my confidence. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next week. Bye! Baby, you got me going all around you. I can't resist.